Alrighty, welcome back everyone to my Give Me God of War walkthrough guide. This video is only going to have 2 fights and 1 boss fight. Alright? Alrighty. So we are going to move on to the first fight.
Can you see anything from that block?
Lad, if I may, what exactly are you hoping to learn from Tyr?
Well, like I said, I was hoping he could tell me something about Loki. I'd also like to hear some of his stories. Traveling to other lands, giant stuff, and maybe about what it was like to fight back in the day. Just for the history, obviously.
History.
Let's hope Tyr's in a talkative mood after being imprisoned for so long. Not all of Odin's captives can be as charmingly voluble as myself.
We have no proof Tyr is truly here.
Right. That earthquake earlier. You think there will be another one?
It's unlikely, but geological disturbances tend to be unpredictable.
If the geysers and smell here are worse because of Fimbulwinter, maybe the earthquakes are too?
Aye.
Atreus, look ahead.
Wow. Now this looks like a city.
Welcome to Nidavellir, brothers.
Hey, dwarves! Oh. They're, running away.
An alarm.
I'd only sound an alarm like that if I still had my body, and was fearing the notion of being detached from it.
Why's that for us, though?
They are scared.
Most definitely an alarm, I'm afraid.
Why is everybody hiding?
Stay alert.
Hey, could we talk to you for...
any trouble, please.
There'll be no help, to be sure. Best we find the tavern Sindri mentioned on our own.
Is that a statue of Odin? They must really love him.
Or fear him.
Sindri!
Hello. I'd return your surprise, but I did know you'd be here. I've got something for you.
What is it, dwarf?
You know, I'm glad I came back here at least once before Ragnarok. Oh, if these cobblestones could talk. Then they'd have mouths. Filthy, disgusting mouths. Do you mind if I fiddle with your bow? Oh, you are long overdue for a replacement. Taking advantage of certain materials. Ow! Structural sensitivity to sonic vibrations has been something I've been meaning to try for quite some time now.
Thanks for, finally trying it. What's it gonna be this time?
Patience. I find it's best to see these things, in action. Whew. There. Oh, take aim at that gate there. But before you loose, say, Skialfa. Skialfa.
Yo! Ah!
Well, I certainly didn't expect you to disturb half the creepy crawlies in Nidavellir.
How was I supposed to know they were
Alright, so coming up on the first fight here, I do actually die here because I forgot to block for some reason. Not sure what I was doing. Very simple fight. It just has one enemy and the rest of them are just the very small enemies. You want to use the Blades of Chaos to kill them. and you want to use the axe to kill this enemy. You don't have to use the axe to kill this enemy, but you do have to use the Blades of Chaos to kill those small enemies, or else it's going to be hard to hit them. And that is it for fight number 1, so we'll move on to fight number 2.
Sindri, any idea where the tavern is?
Do I look like I've ever been to a filthy tavern? The sewer you just punched a hole through seems promising, though. It should lead to the other side of the city. It's not like you're able to open other doors.
Another of Cavassier's poems.
Atreus, this way.
Best of luck.
It seems like neither Valyr's locked down because of us.
Outsiders are not welcome here.
I imagine that large statue of Odin has something to do with it.
Well, everyone's hiding on this side too.
Odin's occupation of this realm has its hooks in deep.
But there aren't any guards patrolling. We're clearly not
This
afraid.
way.
This looks promising, right? That's like a house. If he's here, maybe you should let me do the talking.
You.
Well, we don't want to intimidate him. You're tall as a tree and you have a severed head on your head.
None taken. Fair point, though.
Think that's him? Hello?
Watch yourselves. Apparently, there are intruders about.
Oh, that's us, I think.
Well, if you're planning on killing me, at least let me finish this song. That alarm was in just the perfect key.
We're just looking for a friend of ours, named Derlin.
Well, we both know that's not true. Derlin's got no friends left. But if that's all you need, head out the back way there, and you'll see the safety office just across the river. Just don't go making trouble for the rest of us. And while you travel through this realm, maybe you could clean up the head's mess.
What mess?
Later, brother.
Sorry, one more thing. Although, these are gifts I'm giving to you, so I shouldn't be sorry and you should be thankful. Anyways, here, please be careful.
It's beautiful. Thanks, Sindri.
It is beautiful, isn't it? It's also very useful. You'll be able to find anything your heart desires with it.
Really?
As long as your heart desires the locations your father and you decide and plot to travel together, then yes.
It is a compass.
Ah, but a beautiful compass. Now scamper off.
Come. A boat cannot be far.
Huh. Earlier, Sindri made it sound like Derlin was some sort of rebellion leader. Doesn't sound like anyone's following him.
Was being the key word here, little brother.
There's a building just past these rocks behind me. Maybe we should head that way.
Mimir, why do the dwarves hate you?
Oh, in the bay just beyond this tunnel. I helped build some mining rigs.
What about them?
They're a mistake of mine, from quite a long time ago. If you've got the time, I'd have us turn them off. I'd particularly appreciate us checking out the mining rigs in the lake to the right. You can see the smokestacks from here.
But if you don't want to explore now, it looks like Derlin's place is through that open gate to the left. So, which way do we go? We could prepare more before rescuing Tyr. Up to you. So we're going to Durlin's? Makes sense. We could always explore those mining rigs later. This is the safety office?
Well, the sign a hair's breadth away from a head injury up there certainly gives that impression.
We're looking for Durlin?
You have an appointment?
No? Has anyone ever had an appointment here?
Here to collect on something, pal? Think, parading a severed head around on your hip is gonna scare me into somehow approving Esther's secretion proposal, eh?
We are looking for a prisoner of Odin's.
He's being kept in a mine somewhere. Some friends of ours said that you could help.
Where did you get... You chop her head off with that too, eh?
She was my wife.
Dina and I wondered where she went after our little coup here failed.
Failed?
Yeah, come, come. Failed.
Faye is dead.
Rest of them are. One's left alive have to pay the price. I'm afraid I can't help you with your little prisoner situation.
But he could have answers on how to stop Odin. And free Svartalfheim from the Ace here.
I'm not in the business of crossing the old father anymore. Wait, before you go. Take this.
What is it?
A fine. Hygiene code violation for improper transport of a rotting head. 2 demerits for speaking the All-Father's given name, and, yeah. For fucking up my desk!
A fine?
Pay it at your leisure, okay? Get out of my office.
Hey there.
So what about get out of my office? Don't you understand?
You said her name was Diener? Oh, sure. Thank you. I think. Hey, this isn't a fine.
Alrighty. So for fight number 2, this is going to be not a super hard fight, but you can consider around the intermediate difficulty. So this is going to be mostly ranged enemies, and that's why it is considered an intermediate difficulty, is because most of them are ranged enemies, and you're going to have to watch out when they're shooting at you. So I'm going to just give you guys a heads up right now. I am going to be swapping the next time that we get to a blacksmith. I am going to be swapping to the other shield, the parryable shield, because you're going to see after this fight is the Dreki fight. You're going to see that it is very easy, and I want a tiny bit more of a challenge, and I like the challenge of trying to parry their attacks instead of just blocking it. So that's just my opinion personally. You don't obviously have to follow that because it will make your game harder if you use the parry one. I do suggest that you just use the one that just allows you to block. That's probably the best. And yeah, this is a very simple fight. All you want to do is you want to try and stay in a corner so that you don't get shot by too many of them. And you're gonna see that I don't do that. But there's no worries about me not doing it. I'm basically just gonna tell you the best way that I've found to do it, even though you're not seeing me do it here. You could do it the way that I'm doing it here, but the chances of the enemies being in the same spot, you know, it's very low. So I'm just giving you a overall universal thing that you can do no matter where they are, where they spawn. Doesn't really matter. And this is the final enemy, and that is it for this fight. So we will move on to the Dreki boss fight.
As I was saying, I think Derlin wrote down directions.
The dwarf has given us a map.
Sort of. You smelled him? But it seems to lead to a mine beyond that mountain. Ah. Tyr! Derlin helped us anyway.
Not everyone uses axes and arrows to fight.
This thing looks like it can take us up the mountain. Maybe we'll be able to see a mine up there.
Ah, nothing quite like a dwarven train ride. Heimdall. There's a name I don't miss hearing.
No one said it until you did, just now.
Durlin. He didn't need to say it, brother. It was written all over his face. Well, burned, I should say. Into his head.
He burned that into Derlin's head?
Failed rebellions tend to warrant swift and enduring retribution.
He is a captain of Odin.
Aye, and the bearer of Gjallarhorn. A true believer, that one. There are few things so dangerous in a man as lack of doubt.
Seems like we're here. Come on. This way. I can see another train. Let's look for a way to get over there. You know, maybe finding Tyr is our best protection. Seemed like Odin really didn't want us to find him. Once Tyr's free and can be god of war again, Odin won't have time to worry about us.
If that is his war to fight, he may have it.
Whoa! Is that a Dreki? What happened here?
Use caution.
I think it's dead. Yep. Definitely dead. Hey, I wonder if...
Alrighty, now we start with the Dreki boss fight. So, this boss fight is very simple. He only has one unblockable, and he only has two yellow ring unblockable attacks, so the parryable attacks. And that is it. There is not much else for me to say. The rest you can block normally. I am going to tell you when he's doing it. So this is one of his unblockables, is his jump bite. Then he's going to do this side bite, which is another unblockable. And for his unblockable attack, you just have to dodge backwards twice. Or just once, and then just, you know, do a dash backwards, and that is it. That is basically the entire Dreki boss fight. There is not much else for me to really explain. All I can really do is I can give you a little like guide on how I basically beated him. So if you're using the same shield as me, you basically just block all of his parryable attacks, and he won't hit you. Once you block all of his parryable attacks, you will want to swing at him once he runs out. So he's gonna try and do, whenever he tries to do the side unblockable attack, you can hit him with a light attack, and it will interrupt his attack. If you're using the parryable shield, you just want to parry his two yellow ring unblockables, or his parryables, and for his unblockable, it's exactly the same. And that is it for the Dreki. So we will be moving on in the next episode. So hopefully this did help you, and I will see you in the next one.
That one was tough.
Stay on your guard. There could be others around.
I think that Dreki is what killed them. First one we found?
If so, it was their aggression that got them both killed.